game, you know, we had beautiful music, but now it's time for the Puggsy. Puggsy is certainly I don't even know what creature it is running around on the Genesis. But he's kind of ugly. I don't know. Is he a tree of sorts? Like a very short, ugly tree? A sad bean? Yeah, Eldra, I can definitely dig that. He might be a sad bean. A Plumbus. Oh boy. He's a child? Oh no, I feel so bad. Child. My dear child. My dear child, Bubsy. No, Bubsy is not my kid. Okay, I'm totally disowning Bubsy. No, stop posting Bubsy in chat. I don't like it. I have never been a fan of my Bubsy. So, luckily, it looks like we are ready, and I am sending it to the crew, Drex, Author Blues, and Liz.
It's Puggsy time!
Hey,
Yay,
there we are.
It's Puggsy.
It's Puggsy. What's going on, everybody? I'm Drex. This is Puggsy. I got a couple of friends with me here. They can introduce themselves.
I'm Liz.
Hi, I'm Oth. I play too much Oth. Excuse me, well, I'm Alana too.
Yeah, and you're not very good at it either.
Great. In all seriousness, though, we're going to play this game here. If you guys have never seen Puggsy before, you're in for a treat.
It's a terrible video game.
Worst video game ever.
No redeeming it. I mean, look at this. It's ugly. There's, like, you know, nothing, like, no.
You're going too far. You're going too far.
Too far. Too far.
You have to say nice things now.
Okay.
We have to do a compliment sandwich, okay?
This game smells nice.
It has great music, pretty terrible to play, also a pretty neat physics system. That's a compliment sandwich right there.
Terrible to...
That's it. All right. Well, yeah, so like I said, if you've never seen this game before, it's a pretty neat game. There's a lot of neat physics in it. They're not exactly realistic or anything like that, but they are indeed physics. Every item in the game has a different weight and like friction property, and they kind of all interact with each other in different ways. So in this run, you'll see me use the physics to do some things. Oth and Liz will try to explain. This run goes pretty quick. There's a lot of levels back to back, and it's pretty execution heavy, so I'll pop in when I can, but they'll try to give you the lowdown on what's going on.
Heck yeah. We'll be your tour guides here in Pugsyland.
But
on your right, you'll see a giant volcano. We don't actually go there.
But we do.
Wait, is this 100%?
No.
Oh, okay.
God.
Anyways, I am gonna get it going here in 3, 2, 1.
Alright, so Puggsy is a physics-based platformer with some really neat puzzle elements. I've actually taken a lot of the things that I've learned from this game and applied them to my real life, like being able to launch myself way up into the sky just by holding shells. So this is like the tutorial beach. It's just trying to teach you really simple mechanics. So it doesn't really start to get super interesting until the second world. This is all just trying to illustrate to you how you can use items to climb and interact with them. Most of this stuff is gonna go rapidly.
It's the way the game kind of wants you to do it is it wants you to place items on the ground and jump on them, because every item is interactable, like they can rub up against each other and Puggsy, but it's a little bit faster to like bounce. Basically, you can buffer your jump so that next time you hit the ground, you jump, and at the same time, you also have the item push against the ground so that it kind of that pushes you up, and you jump at the same time, so you get a lot of extra air.
So there's a few routes here in this game. Drex is doing one where he gets shoes slightly later in the route. They're actually pretty much exactly the same amount of time. I think we've tried our hardest to time them optimally, and it seems like the difference is like seconds.
It's pretty much a matter of preference. I prefer to grab them first. Basically, you could go a slight detour here and get boots, which make you go faster, or you can do them a little bit later for a different kind of smaller detour.
Yeah, you do an extra stage for a speed boost, which ends up making up the time you lose for doing the extra stage. So the premise of this game is that Puggsy is a space alien who got attacked in space and ended up crash landing on this planet, and all of the stupid raccoons stole his ship that's made out of wood, and in order for him to get it back, he has to kill all the Guardians and then go kill the final boss afterwards. So we're sort of making our tour of the island to find and kill the Guardians. A lot of murder going on here. I'm not a big fan of murder myself. I feel like my opinions on that matter have been pretty clearly stated, but nonetheless, in order for Puggsy to get his precious ship back, he has to take some lives.
This level introduces something that comes back a lot, and that is letting an item kind of run free and just letting physics sort life out.
Yeah, right there, Drex threw a key from about midway through the stage, Kobe'd it all the way to the lock at the end of the stage. That's actually a pretty precise setup. It's not very easy to pull that off.
Yeah, so that was a really good throw.
It took a long time to get that setup down.
Yeah, Drex was actually the one who found that, and it took us both a lot of practice to get anywhere near consistent at it, so... I guess if we're talking from sort of a morality perspective, I guess what this game is trying to teach is that, 5 or 6 lives is what his ship is worth. And I think it's important for us to try to measure physical possessions in terms of actual sentient lives.
Puggsy is looking cool, all right? Listen, I know a lot of people who immediately they come into my stream when I'm playing Puggsy, and their reaction is, what the hell is that? What in the world am I looking at? And I'm like,
what is it, though?
A super... I was going to ask you that, Oz. What does Puggsy seem like to you? What is Puggsy to you? It's like a deep philosophical question.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good one. Space bounce filled with SpaghettiOs?
I see some good ones in chat, too. Out the corner of my eye.
The boots, which allow us to move fast, were people saying.
So now you'll notice that he's going a lot faster.
That's a good one. I think he looks like those spinny toys, they're filled with batteries, and it's got 2 little light balls, and then you just hit it and it spins them in a circle, real fast.
A latex
I got one
glove,
at a circus.
A latex glove filled with expired butterscotch pudding.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, so this level is another one where we kind of try and let physics sort it out. It does not always work, and this time it didn't. Unfortunately, Drex has lost his shoes that will lose him quite a bit of time. There is a... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, this does demonstrate, though, what makes this game fairly safe in terms of this kind of setting. For RTA, it can be tough to execute runs, but for a marathon setting, you don't really die very often because the shoes act as an extra hit point. And so after this level, he'll probably just go and get another pair of shoes, no big deal.
I didn't think about the possibility of losing sneakers right there because I don't like to think about that, so I'm going to have to think about what I'm going to do here for a minute while I fight this boss.
Yeah, he can push forward through the next 2 levels because there's shoes in the one after that, or he can go back for them. Neither of them is really a good situation to be in, but I think knowing my boy Drex, I think he could pull off pushing forward.
I agree.
He's also got a pair of glasses that act as another hit point, so...
This boss is unbelievably cute, by the way. I love this boss.
He's very precious. Or should I say they're very precious.
Don't spoil anything.
Yeah,
I'm not spoiling.
So basically all it is you just jump on the switches in the correct order. It is painfully easy. It's just memorization.
once you know the pattern, it's very easy. But as with a lot of the bosses in this game, there's like this thing they seem to like to do where they map they map buttons out in odd ways. And so, like, for instance, there, just remembering which switch opened which door was probably more challenging on its own. So our boy Drex here is going for probably the safer route of going back. And remember, we mentioned that he skipped a route earlier where he goes to an extra level to grab shoes. He's doing that now. It is probably faster doing this than going into the other level where he got shoes.
Yeah,
one of the things that makes this a better option as well is that if he loses shoes again, he'll have this stage unlocked for him to come back.
Exactly. That's one of the reasons I prefer doing this route, is in case I do lose shoes, I don't lose that much time just coming back to this level.
Exactly.
It's pretty quick to grab them. It's just, you know, a waste of time to actually open the level.
Yeah, I actually, so Drex said that he was specifically requested by a few people to play this game in Big Bad Game-a-thon, and he, out of, I guess, some misplaced kindness, doesn't want to say who it was, but I want names, because this is not...
I want them in writing. This game, like... You know, I just played 2 games in Big Bad Game-a-thon and was like, some people might say these are bad games. I think they're good because I really enjoy them. This is a good game. If anyone came to me and said, this is a bad game, I don't like it, I'd be like, you are not a person I want to be around.
This game will give you a bad time your first casual playthrough, though.
Okay, so story time. My first time playing this, I decided to just, kind of casually play it. Oh, you are not having a good time.
Everything is going bad there.
Yeah, so Drex seemed to have opted not to do the rubber ducky strat, but instead is trying to climb the wall with a gun, which is a pretty tough abuse of physics in this game. The only person who runs this game I know that is even remotely good at that is Drex. And as you could see, he was struggling even then, so...
Basically, you can kind of swim in this game by holding something and manipulating physics to push yourself up. It is very tricky to do properly, but, if anyone can do this, Drex.
So this is a relatively simple puzzle stage here. There's an unkillable enemy that's holding a key, but in order to get the key from him, you just have to open the door underneath him. And this is, I think, the only stage in this category that has 2 exits?
I believe so.
Yep, unless we need emergency shoes somewhere.
Yeah, there's a stage.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Man, in marathons, I just do both exits.
No, that's not correct, because there is over in the castle, the later castle, there's
only one exit there. You only have to use one exit there, but it splits in 2 ways.
But it opens.
Oh, you're right.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I was thinking about that level too, but
you notice Drex just did some cool like maneuvering by trying to kind of get the chest up on the lip to pull himself up. There's a lot of shenaniganery using physics here. And we also do a lot of buffering our jumps to...
Oh, you know what? I take it back. This game is Kuso, because of Bad Game-a-thon 2.
Yeah, I was definitely going to, to mention that. It's terrible.
Yeah, the next level in the game is the most compelling reason to not speedrun this game.
For multiple reasons, actually.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see them in full effect.
So the first part is that he has to get, I think by default it's 7 coins into this hole.
Oh no.
Oh, you're doing the safe strat.
No, he's trying to do the 2-coin strat.
Oh.
With no luck.
Yeah, that's rough. So you get one try at the 2-point strat. There's a little exploit you can do, but now he has no choice but to Kobe them into the hole. He's got to get 7 of them, and boy, are these physics.
Yeah, this is way harder than it looks. You basically have to throw it at like a perfect position at a perfect height in order to actually get it in there. Otherwise, it will just bounce out.
If you see someone who can do this in more than, get 1 coin in less than like 10 shots, that person is a god at this game.
Very good, though.
And then this part, you really can't see the guy that's down there, but you need him to push it toward the left.
Oh boy, here we go. I said I wanted to see it on full display, so we're gonna see it on full display right here.
So now we are in a place where there's nothing to do but wait. We just need the mouse to throw it to the left. That's all he's got to do. That's all he's got to do is push it to the left. That's it.
Mouse, please.
That's it, and that's all. Just to the left.
Mouse.
Here we go. I think we got it. I think we're nope. Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Yay, Puggsy.
Flower mouse, please. And then this level is great because it's literally just waiting.
Yeah, the levers at the bottom control what direction the tracks are turning. You just have to get each one to one of the 4 switches.
I know someone who would hate me if I called this an auto-scroller, but it's an auto-scroller.
This is the closest thing to an auto-scroller this game has, really. You can't really do it any quicker than you do it, so...
My strat saves a half a second.
Apparently, it saves half a second. I don't believe it.
Drex has serious doubts whether or not the world record got his world record on the half-second time save for this level. So this boss is...
I didn't set up right.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna drop a hot opinion here. This boss is actually functionally impossible for a casual playthrough.
You think so? I don't know.
Yeah, because these levers control the gears, and just making a mental map of which lever does what, oh boy. That sure was something.
For some reason I thought that it went up automatically. I don't even know what I was thinking there. I've played this game a few times before, but... I just wanted to taunt the badger a little bit.
It's like, haha, you can't hit me because I have your flower bag. So in this level, the raccoon is tracking you in the X position and jumps of his own accord every 4 seconds, I think it is.
Yep, every 4 seconds.
Yeah.
And so basically what you're trying to do is you are just trying to move along the bottom in such a way that it navigates him through this maze. It's not very difficult in terms of it being a maze, but the platforming's a little bit awkward because even though we know it's a jump every 4 seconds, sometimes getting those jumps to line up is a little bit tricky.
Mummy raccoons are adorable. I don't know why you invited me to do commentary, Drex, because it's literally just going to be like 80%. Oh, these animals are cute.
Oh,
they are pretty cute, so, I mean...
I feel like this is another level that makes this game kind of bad.
Yeah, this level is really obnoxious. You need to, like, get a ball to go in the teleporter at just the right way, in just the right angle, and who knows what that angle is or the direction is, but it has to go through all 3 teleporters to get all the way back to the switch.
I've never done it with that strategy before, of just throwing it up there.
Oh, yeah. You can save a little bit of time by throwing it up to the switch.
It's the only way for you to get the first cycle on it if you do it that way, but I didn't get it in the teleporter early enough. Oh boy, come here.
It tries to be kind of like overly complex by being like, oh, well, one has a gun and one has a paint bucket. If the gun gets there first, then it unleashes the big evil guy who you can't hurt, but you just run faster than him, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, the trick to this level is that after you get the first 2 shapes, you think, okay, I just need to return each of them to this pillar up here. But if you put them all in as you find them, you won't be able to get to the last one because you need an item to jump over the wall. This boss takes 7 hits, and he only makes himself vulnerable for a portion of time, and he has this weird pattern, so like getting the optimal 7 hits right away is actually pretty tough. I think the hardest hit is the first hit in the second phase, which Drex nailed perfectly.
It's almost a perfect boss fight, not quite, but
almost perfect.
Good enough.
Good enough.
So if you're a big fan of some other Genesis titles, you may be familiar with Wiz and Liz. What's it called? Radical Rabbits or something like that?
Radical Wabbits.
Radical Wabbits. There's their graves.
Yep. Wiz and Liz. Rip.
May they rest in peace. The creators of this game and that game had like friendly beef with each other. They have like Puggsy and Wiz and Liz, I think. Like you can throw tomatoes at him.
So this level is actually way harder if you have shoes. He chases you like 3 times as fast, and he's super mad. So getting that stage to go right is a lot of skill and a little bit of luck. And fortunately, Drex is abounding with both.
This is a very simple level. It's literally just jump over enemies and run to the end.
Yeah, this is the tutorial for minecarts are dangerous.
There is a special mode in this game called Junior Percent that has like 5 levels, and it says come back, you know, when you're ready. If you need to practice with this some more, go ahead. It's like super easy levels from the game. That's one of them.
But they give you a watered down version of it with...
Yeah, because it's all filled with invincibility items.
Yeah.
So on this level, I'm going to do something pretty neat. Normally you need 3 of these TNTs to get to the exit, but I'm going to use 1. I'm going to throw it really precisely, and rather than wait for the minecart to come down after these lanterns have been blown up, it's just going to bounce in where it needs to go. Hopefully. That's the plan.
Using physics.
Drex is a genius of this game because he just like found all of this somehow. I have no idea. It was all like that is genius.
Yeah, a lot of the strats that made this, a lot of the RTA strats that made this as fast as they are were Drex's creation.
Oh yeah, there are some really interesting test strats. The way the physics work in this game, if you are a task, you could just fly. It's ridiculous.
I think that's one of the things that has made this game really fascinating is so often, you know, when I run a game, I'll just try to copy task strats, but since the task can just basically fly through levels by holding an item, it's not viable, and so...
you have to come up with creative ways to do what the task does.
Yeah, or just come up with a brand new way to do something completely different.
I think it's good proof, though, that I'm not a robot, because I can't fly in this game, so...
It's basically when you pick up an item, you move like 1 pixel up, like in order to like level yourself with it. It's something similar to that, and then you just pick it up and drop it over and over again.
Yeah, it's like when you grab an item, both you and the item sort of move to the same center of gravity. So if you're holding the item higher, then the item sort of pulls you up a tiny bit, and if you're capable of alternating you know, grabbing and releasing once per frame, then you can use that to gain height. So
that almost went bad.
Flies through everything.
Oh. Okay, that works. That was totally on purpose.
Wow.
So this boss is named Halitosis.
AKA Twinkle Toes.
Yeah, Twinkle Toes.
Twinkle Toes.
You're only really supposed to be able to get 1 hit per cycle, but if you get the first hit instantly in the phase, there's just enough time to barely get a second hit. So, you know, the perfect fight here is 4 phases, but it is so hard to pull off consistently.
I don't know if it's like frame perfect, but
It's a really narrow window. It's not.
Yeah,
I'm almost certain it's not frame perfect because I can pull it off, but but it's pretty narrow.
I think I've done it once.
You've got like, I think it's like 3 or 4 frames of leniency on either side, so you can only really.
I'm not gonna get a single one.
Oh,
It's tough.
Yeah, it is tough.
It's also tough with us talking in his ear when he's probably trying to keep track of a rhythm.
I wasn't gonna say it, but you guys.
There's no visual. There's no visual or audio cue, so you just have to like know how long the iframes last.
When you hit them, you can do it. Like I have an audio cue that oh boy, I missed. There we go. That I use, but it only works if I hit the first hit right, and then I basically know in a certain amount of time to do the next hit.
So the flashlight here tells you what the password combination is. You have to get all of the pieces to their correct locations.
Did I miss? I think I missed.
Yeah, I think it's over to the left.
Why are you not working? There we go.
There we go. Easy.
Easy every time.
This stage has the coolest strat. You can.
Yeah. Oh well, like I've been practicing this one because I'm really bad at it. It involves jumping on an item that you throw in midair. Oh.
So you're supposed to like concoct this potion from a bunch of items throughout the stage, put them all in the pot. It gives you a potion that makes you run real fast, so you can jump over this gap. But instead, he's going to try to throw this item in such a way that you can just jump off of it. It's actually kind of tough to pull off.
Very good.
Nice. It's a pretty tough strat. Thank goodness he found it, because doing that level the right way is a huge pain.
Oh boy, that was a mistake. Let's just go get sneakers right now.
Yeah.
Traveling all the way back.
So in that stage right there, we're going to encounter the only instance really of the bird enemy. Boy, is he just a run killer.
Birds are jerks in video games. And this is no exception to that. In fact, this might be the biggest jerk I've ever encountered in any video game.
So he randomly moves up and down. There's probably a manipulation, but we don't really have one that's at all consistent. We've theorized a lot of things over time. But he moves up and down, and you have to get past him. If he's at his lowest point, you can just barely jump on his head, but unfortunately the wind is making you move so slow that timing that is nearly impossible. So generally you want to go under, but he decides whether or not he goes high enough that it's even possible for you to go under. So you're just sort of waiting. Or you can be Drex and actually pull off the
pretty difficult jump.
Yeah. Because of how slow you're moving in the wind, that's real not good.
I saw somebody say birds are jerks IRL too. It's true. I own a bird. I have a bird. It's true. Birds are jerks IRL also. This stage is really easy. You just run down here and grab this little zip liney thing and go right across. Nothing crazy there. And we have a little bit of a slower level now, so.
Yeah, this one is you have to go up and down this elevator, and it's 18 seconds per cycle. So we're here for the long haul. We need to go up 6 times.
Just kind of sit back, relax.
Enjoy the next 2 minutes.
Y'all having a good one?
Yeah, not too bad.
Good.
I grilled in a hurricane.
Oh.
Tastes like water.
I did not grill in a hurricane. There's no hurricane near me, thankfully.
Grill in a Hurricane is my next album.
Oh my god, this stage.
Yeah, so if
it goes on forever.
You guys might have noticed.
Any more theories about what Puggsy is? Definitely let us know.
You got a Roman. Roman numeral number 6 down here. That's your hint to what you have to do here. But it doesn't tell you anything about going left to right on this. You just alternate it back and forth.
What happens if you don't? I never have.
The same item will pop out. If you put,
okay.
If you put the item in there, again, the same tube, it'll just pop out the same.
Oh, that's a boring answer. You can't say Pugsy's a space hopper. Of course, that's what he looks like.
That's what he is.
Pugsy's a half-filled water balloon with raccoon fat. Which you would think that the denizens of this planet would love him then. No.
No, they wouldn't.
No. I think if I met a water balloon filled with human fat, I would not be intrinsically drawn to them.
You're doing a different strat than I do here. Usually I run left immediately and kill the 2 enemies over there.
I'm doing the rolling deep strat because...
Yeah, that's a much safer strat, and it doesn't lose very much time, but this is the timing gamble, is if you can release the balloon. So the trick here is you can't just bring an item with you, because it'll hit a switch and make you fall and get trapped. Good job. So you have to send the balloon up through the steam, but timing it can be tough.
Do you guys mind? Oh boy, never mind. When I get back to that level, if you guys mind being quiet for just a minute when I shoot the cannon.
I got you. Docks 1 and 2 are so. This game in typical speedrun fashion ends with the worst 2 levels.
Oh my god!
I mean, the next to last level is not awful, but it can really mess you up. It's the last level that's just not good.
Wait, the last level, the one with the maze? That's fine.
No, that one's a freebie. I'm talking about the last one.
We don't even consider that a level.
Yeah.
No one has ever lost time on that stage.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really... Oh.
Cannon here that I need to hear when it goes off. Make sure I grab that. Otherwise, you miss it, you fall down the hole. It's no fun.
Good job.
Nice.
All right, here we go. This is the true final boss of the game. You'll see why when I get to the actual last boss. Why this?
So I'll give him some focus while he's doing the actual meat of the stage, but this is the intended strat he's doing here. I'll just leave you with that.
Nothing to say. This is the actual intended strat. You can't pick this item up. It's the only item in the game you can't pick up. You can only push it. So, as you see here, I got it stuck a little bit, but I got it recovered.
Oh, nice.
It did not want to bounce. Oh boy, don't fall in. Of course it fell into that hole.
I knew it. I was literally like, why didn't you set up the safety?
I always drop a barrel there just in case.
Always.
This freaking game. So yeah, like you said, you can't pick up that item. So you have to just coerce it there. Oh boy, this game sure just is Puggsy.
It likes me tonight, it's okay. I'm used to it by now. See if it wants to even work with me at all. I might have to reset the stage. Oh, there we go.
Fortunately, this pedestal sometimes will let you get under it, so...
Not this time, though. Absolutely.
There we go.
Not.
All right.
So that stage is awful.
GG. Game's done.
That stage either goes perfect or terrible. There's no getting it okay. It's just either get it or you don't, and I didn't that time.
I like this, that this stage, the very last stage, is the first time the game introduces the mechanic where you can fall down through a platform by holding down.
Yeah.
The first and only time. There's no other, even in the 100%, there is not another single instance of being able to go through a platform. And this is the last boss, but not really, because you'll see why.
I mean, he used to be harder in terms of like doing it fast. Now it's trivial.
Oh no, I'm overestimate.
Oh no. Gosh. Well, it's okay. There was some loser who was overestimated by like 5 minutes earlier today, so.
Yeah. Wait.
I don't know. I think her name was Liz. I don't know. It doesn't matter. So yeah, the idea is you just kind of stand there and the laser will shoot through you. Now, I'm pretty sure the game actually tells you this in the credits. It's
Yep,
like
it
here's
does.
a secret that you can do in the final boss next time you play, which is pretty cool.
I still don't think that that's what the thing in the credits is specifically referring to.
GG.
And yeah, that's Puggsy. And
It's Puggsy.
That's our boy P. Big
boy
P.
Big P.
Sorry that we all tricked you into watching an actually good game.
Yeah. Sincere apologies.
Oh yeah, so we probably won't see it, but the credits do say Puggsy 2 coming soon. Keep an eye out. And our eyes have been out for 20 years.
Okay, so so there's 2,700 people in chat. I feel like if some percentage of them were to tweet at John Burton and let him know that we are ready for Puggsy 2 to release, that maybe he'd be interested.
And that
He's basically ignored Drex this forever.
We've been speedrunning this game for a while now, Oth and I, and I think it'd be cool to just see what he thinks about this game being speedran, even. But more importantly, right there, look out for Puggsy Part 2 coming soon. I'm still waiting.
Definitely let John Burton know that you are ready. Your body is ready for Puggsy 2.
If Puggsy 2 were actually announced, I would freak out.
If you search for him on Twitter, you will find him. He is the guy who runs the Game Hut YouTube account.
Very popular.
I believe it's
which is a relatively popular
JONTT.
JONTT?
Yep, I believe that's it. Anyways, yeah, that's Puggsy, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Oth and Liz, thank you so much for doing commentary.
Of course,
and
thank you for running.
to everybody who is in charge of Big Bad Game-a-thon, thank you so much for letting me run this kind of bad, not so bad, but still bad game. I appreciate it a lot, and look forward to the next run. Take it easy, everybody.
Is the next run